Hello everybody and welcome to this podcast from trailrunningspain.com with all the trail running information from Gibraltar to the Pyrenees and beyond, web partner of carrerasdemontana.com. Today I'm here to talk to you about the overtraining syndrome. As you have probably seen already in the article, this is something that might occur to many athletes, amateurs and professionals during their sport career. It is something that unluckily I have experienced in my body during this summer. At the beginning of the lockdown, of the first COVID lockdown in April this year, we stopped working and I had a lot of free time, so I decided to prepare myself virtually for an Ironman, something I have never done before. So I'm a very sports person. I have 30 years of experience running in the mountains. Before I have done many other sports, mountain bike, skiing. So I thought it was okay to triplicate the amount of training that I was doing. I planified everything. So I thought I had everything under control. However, even if I build up the blocks correctly and according to what the theory is saying, like for example passing from weeks of 8 hours to weeks of 10 hours to weeks of 12 hours, 16 hours, after about 16 weeks, by the end of June, I began to feel that my body was not answering as I was used to have in the normal training schedules that I used to do. Mainly in my case, I began to feel a lot of dizziness after the swimming sessions that I planned to do, and to a point in which one of the days I arrived home and I almost fainted. So based on that symptom, I went to the doctor, I asked for a blood test, we analyzed the blood test, and one of the interesting parts was that majority of the values were correct except the cortisol. So I put my body into such an amount of stress that the cortisol was too high and prevented the pancreas to convert the food intake into the proper glucose that we all need in our bodies. So as a consequence, I had episodes of low sugar in my blood, which end up in this kind of dizziness and fainting even. So after that, the doctor was not very sure of that could have something to do with overtraining or, bad news, cancer, because potentially having the cortisol too high, it is linked to a kind of very rare tumor in the suprarenal glandules. So we have done a full study during the entire month of July. Obviously, I was not training. I reduced my sport activity to the minimum, just walks and little short runs, like half an hour maximum, until mid of August, where I was full clear with the clearance from the doctors that the problem that I was having was overtraining on an earlier stage. So after that, from August until the end of September, I began to load again little loads of training in order to see if my body was responding well. On top of that, at the mid of September, I performed a stress test in a sports medicine center, where after having performed the test and having analyzed my heart, entire body measurements, everything was correct, but the estimation of the doctor of why I had the overtraining is because during those 20 weeks in which I triplicate the amount of training that I did, I was, as an estimation, taking a calorie intake of minus 3,000 calories. So, as we all know, but sometimes forget, it's not only about to have a proper plan of training, it's not only about to know what kind of training you have to do, it's not only about a quality rest, it's not only about stretching. There are other things like the calorie intake that has to be taken into account. Something so easy, something so obvious for common sense, it was forgotten. So that's why we wanted to write this article and hope with all the information that we explain in the article, plus my personal experience, in case you have certain symptoms that might relate to that, please go to the doctor, ask to be checked up, and hopefully you can recover as fast as hopefully I am doing. It is true, I'm not feeling fully fit and fully recovered still. We are at the end of October at the moment, but I feel I can keep on going to the mountains and keep on loading some kilometers. So remember, if you like the information, click like below the video and see you around the mountains. Thank you very much.